Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Colin and I'm an English teacher working in Tokyo. In this video, I want to give you 6 tips to help you develop a reading habit, okay? I've been teaching students for many years, and something I noticed is that many of them only read English in class. So outside of class, in their free time, they don't read anything in English. And I think they're really missing out on a huge opportunity. Reading is a chance for you to review grammar that you've studied in the past, and also a chance for you to explore new vocabulary and see vocabulary used in a natural way. So if you are only reading in your lessons, then I think you're missing out on a huge opportunity. So 6 things I want to highlight to hopefully help you develop a good reading habit. The first thing I'd want to say is that you have to find books at your level. Okay? If you pick up a book and it's too high, the level of the book is too high, then you're not going to be able to read it, and it will really kind of make you feel bad. You'll think, I can't read English, I'm useless, I'm going to give up. Okay? You'll have lots of negative talk to yourself about that. But that's not true. What has happened is your level is here and the book level is here. Okay? So the gap is too big. You need to find a book that is closer to your level so that you will actually have a chance of reading it, okay? Likewise, you don't want to find a book that is below your level, because then you have no chance to learn something new, okay? It's going to be too easy and you're going to think it's a waste of time, because I know all of this. This is too easy. So there's this kind of sweet spot that I would say between a book that's a little bit more advanced than your level and maybe close to your level. So that kind of sort of sweet spot is what we're looking for. Because you don't want to feel stressed reading, but you don't want to feel bored reading. You want to just find that kind of perfect balance, okay? So it's really important to find books at your level. When you're reading, I think you should aim to understand about 80% of what you're reading. You don't need to read you don't need to understand 100%. If you're understanding 80% and there's 20% you don't understand, I think that's ideal, because that 20% gives you a chance to really use your brain and try to guess, well, what does that word mean? Or what does this grammar mean? Okay? That is a really important skill. Guessing is a really important skill when you're learning a language. Okay? You're always going to have conversations where somebody says something, but you don't understand everything they've said. So you need to try and guess what they're saying or what they've just said. And it's a skill that you can practice, and you can practice it through reading. So often in my daily life, if I have a conversation in Japanese, there's a lot of guessing. There's a lot of guessing. You know, I'll maybe understand 50%, 60, 70% of what the person has said, but there's a good chunk that I don't understand, and I need to just kind of guess. Use context to try to understand what is going on. So that's number 1. Find books at your level. One way that you can also increase your chances of success is to find books that interest you, okay? You walk into a library, you walk into a bookshop, 95% of those books are not going to be of any interest to you whatsoever. Okay, maybe even less, maybe 98% of the books in that library or that bookshop are not going to be interesting for you. Does that mean you should just walk out and give up? No, it means you have to find that 5%, that 2% of books that you are interested in, okay? If you like fiction, if you like romance, mystery, whatever, find the type of book that you enjoy, okay? Ignore the rest. Don't worry about the rest. You don't have to read them. So you need to kind of really think about what you enjoy reading and find that book, okay? Life is too short to read books that you're not interested in, okay? If you're a university student or a high school student, whatever, go to your library. Go to the library at your school and look for something called graded readers, okay? I've got an example here. This is actually in Japanese. I use these in Japanese. I wonder if you could see that. These are the ones that I use. And, you know, I can choose which ones I want to read. You know, if I see one that I'm not interested in, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to find the ones that I think could be quite interesting. And again, I was talking about finding the right level. These graded readers are at different levels. So when we say graded, it means that the language has been graded, as in each book, they have carefully kind of managed the grammar, the vocabulary, so that it's all kind of at the same level. So you will be able to find the graded reader that is at your level, okay? In the video description, I will add links to places where you can do a level check, a graded reader level check, and also a selection of suggestions that I've got for graded readers that you might enjoy. So those 2 points, the first 2 points, are kind of connected. One is find books at your level, and graded readers are a good way to do that. And also find books that you are interested in. So me personally, I don't like reading fiction. I don't really enjoy fiction. Very rarely will I pick up a fiction book to read. But I enjoy reading autobiographies, for example. Or I like reading kind of self-help books, those kind of things. That's just the type of books that I enjoy reading. So it's important that you find the books that you enjoy. Moving on to kind of more practical tips, I would say the third point is choose a time of day that you can read, okay? For me, I like to read in the morning. I like to wake up, and if I can, I like to go outside with a book, with a cup of coffee, and sit and read. It's a nice way for me to gently start the day. I'm in control of that time, okay? There's no email to check, there's no work to do. I can just sit there and I can read. That works for me because I enjoy waking up early. I'm an early bird, as they might say. So that works for me. It might not work for you. Maybe you prefer reading at night. Maybe you prefer reading at lunchtime, or maybe you have time in the afternoon. Find time that you can read every day and schedule that time, because probably you have more interesting things to do than sit and read. So that means that you really need to decide when you're going to read and put it into your schedule so that you don't forget, okay? One problem with reading late at night is that often we're tired. You know, we've had a busy day, we go to bed, and we don't want to sit and read at night. So we read 2 pages and we fall asleep. That's not good. You're not going to read very much if you're reading 1 or 2 pages a day. So find a time that works for you. The 4th point is find a place to read, okay? So as I said, again, I like going outside into the fresh air. Usually early in the morning it's quiet, there's no cars around, no kids screaming, and I've got a bit of peace to read. That works really well for me. I have a nice seat outside, it's quiet, it's comfortable. You need to find a place where you are comfortable reading, ideally a quiet place where you can concentrate. Smartphone, turn on your do not disturb icon on your phone so that you don't get text messages. There's no kind of phone calls coming in. Nobody gets phone calls these days, but there's no line messages or Facebook updates, Instagram, whatever. All of that is cancelled and you can focus on your reading. If you have a commute to school or to work, then maybe you like reading on the train or the bus. If that works for you, great. But find a place that's comfortable. If you're on a bus or a train, I recommend headphones. Play some instrumental music to kind of cut the noise of people chatting. And that's a good way to kind of find time every day, okay? Number 5 is don't worry too much about the words that you don't know. As I said, it's important to find books at the right level. A little bit above your level, I think, is ideal. But if you don't understand a word, don't panic. Keep reading. Very often, especially in these kind of graded reader books, any word that is kind of a little bit difficult, you should be able to understand it from context. Okay, so read the next sentence. Think about what is happening. Again, really use your brain to guess what is going on. But if you still don't understand, that's okay. Maybe get a pencil, underline it, but keep reading. And maybe when you finish the chapter, go back to that word and check what it means. This is important because if you stop at every word to check what it means, then you will have this kind of stop, start, stop, start, stop, start pattern in your reading. So you will come to a word you don't know, you'll put your book down, you'll pick up your dictionary, you'll check the word, you'll put the dictionary down, you pick up the book again, you will continue reading. If you do that for every word you don't know, then you lose the flow of reading. Reading is great when you are really kind of in the moment and you're really kind of following the story. You're really imagining what's happening. Every time you put the book down and you pick up a dictionary, you start to break down that flow. So what I recommend doing is, if you find a word that is difficult or a word that you don't know, underline it. But keep going, do not stop. At the end of the chapter, you can go back and you can check those words. That's the best way forward, I think. The last point, number 6, that I want to mention here is create goals for yourself. If you're new to reading in your free time, give yourself a challenge. I think a 30-day challenge, 30-day challenge is a really nice challenge for reading. Say to yourself, I'm going to read for 20 minutes every day for 30 days. Get your calendar and mark it. You know, every day that you do your reading, put a little X on the calendar to show you that you have read that day. And try to do it every single day. 20 minutes every day for 30 days. And usually after 30 days, you will probably have built a habit, and you will know kind of when you read, where you read, what kind of stuff you like reading. You will actually have solidified that habit in your daily routine. So that's another reason I think a 30-day challenge is really good. Obviously, it's going to get you reading, but it will also help you to really solidify that habit. And try to get your classmates or your friends to do the same thing. Support each other. You know, send each other messages. Have you done your reading today? Or I've just finished my reading. Try to get other people in on these kind of reading challenges. And after 30 days, you might just find that this is something that you naturally do. You don't really need to think about it anymore. When you wake up in the morning, you grab a book and you grab a coffee and you go and read. That's just part of your routine now. As natural as brushing your teeth. So try to give yourself some kind of goal. If 20 minutes is too much, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Do what you can. Set the bar, kind of how high do you want to set the bar? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? That's up to you. So those are kind of 6 ways that you can develop a habit of reading. And like I said at the start, reading is such an underrated part of developing your English ability. The more you read, the better you will be able to write, for example, because when you're reading, you see lots and lots of good examples of writing. So you kind of start to naturally learn the kind of patterns of grammar, frequency of vocabulary, very, very closely related skills. Okay, I think I'll stop there for today. If you found this useful, make sure you give this video a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Remember to share it with a friend. If you have a friend who might find this content useful, make sure to share it with them. Thank you very much for watching to the end, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.